2014 Don Max season, the spring started with unprecedented frost that predicted a difficult spring. Nevertheless, from October, we had a turning point when the temperature started to increase, leading us to a very healthy flowering and a very good fruit set. In the ripening period, the summer started in the opposite, with rather warm January that predicted a warm season, a warm ripening season. But from January we had another turning point when the temperature started to gradually diminish into a way more mild ripening condition that allow us to have a very long, soft ripening period where we kept a lot of the fruit, the freshness, the acidity, and we end up with a total heat summation during the ripening season slightly lower than the historical average. So when we take a look to the total heat summation of the season, it's very classical, right in the average numbers, but when we take a closer look, we see that we had the ideal condition with a slightly warmer spring and a slightly cooler ripening period. The vinification is a very classical one, where we want to keep the purity of the fruit, the intensity of the fruit, and for that we do the harvest is handmade in small cases that go through after the fruit goes to a sorting table to select the best bunches, the best grape, then to a vinification tank, a fermentation tank in inox, where we do different levels of extraction, and the total maceration varies from 20 days to 35 days. And after that, we send the wine directly to barrel for the aging in French barrel for around 22 months, and around 70% of the barrels are new. The color is very intense, red. The nose, lots of complexity, intensity of fruit, with the notes of bramble, some raspberry and some cherry, along with subtle notes of bay leaf, cedar and bitter chocolate. In the palate is very juicy, very tense and spice, and we find again the intensity of the red fruit and with some pastry, and the texture is very appealing, very supple texture with very fine grained tannin, with all the tension that lends the acidity that assures a very good aging potential.